Well, there we go. The wheat field is finally completed. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Evolution. So in the last episode, we were on beta 1.5, and we pretty much focused entirely on this wheat field here. I was only able to do this section, or complete this section, and the reason I had to stop was because of the mobs trampling over the crops. But now that we've updated to beta 1.6, the fence trick that we used, where you place a fence post underneath farmland, now works. So I can just freely walk all over this, as you could see. As you could see, no trampling, no issues, no nothing. This is amazing. I could even jump if I wanted to. I don't even think jumping trampled crops in beta. It was mainly just walking, but either way, you could see that the game has now been tricked into thinking I'm walking on fence posts. So this is great. And this should all grow up, and it should all look very good, because I'm already quite happy with how this section of the wheat field looks. I actually think it turned out quite nice. And the rest of it should follow suit. I'm sure some of you keen-eyed viewers have probably noticed by now that I'm on beta 1.6 instead of beta 1.6.6, that being the latest release of this update. And the reason I chose to do that is because there are some changes that come along in beta 1.6.5 and 1.6.6 that we'll go over later in the episode. But I just want to start from this version. Now, before we get to the actual additions, I just want to go through some changes. There's not many notable ones. There's a good amount. Like, this update's actually pretty big in terms of changes, but not much to really note, as a good amount of them are multiplayer related and others are just not really relevant to the series, I guess. But one of the first changes is the changes to shift clicking. Now, if you remember previous update board and shift clicking, where we're able to shift click items in and out of chests, which is just simply an amazing addition. But now we can shift click items in and out of the inventory, or from the inventory to the hotbar, which is, it's such a small thing, but it goes such a long way. It's genuinely amazing. And relating to this, there is another one, and this is related to crafting. So if I go ahead and put some items here, now shift click the output, there you go. It crafts all of it. Isn't that just amazing? Now, this is actually one thing that we'll see changed when we update later in this video. And we'll talk about that once we get to it, but it's a pretty terrible downgrade, I guess the best way to say. But that is the shift clicking changes. The next one actually relates to the minecarts over here, which is why I'm at the railway station. And that is that supposedly powered rails are faster. Let's see. Yeah, they definitely seem a bit faster. I'm not really noticing it all that much, but let's let these note blocks play. Love that. But yeah, it supposedly is a bit faster to, I guess, make up for the removal of minecart boosting, which I'm actually not sure if that's been entirely removed yet, because last time we tried it out, it was still working. So I'm actually going to ride this back and see whether this still works. Look at my arm swinging around. Oh wow, yeah, look at this. Did I remove a booster that was here? I think there was a booster somewhere. I must have gotten rid of it. Yeah, look, I've completely lost my momentum now. Funny enough, I feel like before I was able to go even further. Was that because I had a booster? I genuinely don't remember, but yeah, there's a booster over there. Let's hop out here. I'm actually going to just manually take it over there. So it seems like I will actually have to get to putting powered rails onto this now. So let's just test this out. Yeah, wow, so it doesn't work at all anymore. Damn, okay. The previous update, if I recall correctly, it was still working, so yeah, now we can't use boosters at all, so gotta walk all the way back. Give me a minute. Now, for this episode, as far as notable changes go, those are the only two I really wanted to go over. There is one more that I'll probably go over in the next episode, so we'll save that for then. But onto the additions. Now, we don't have much really, I guess. I actually thought there was a decent amount, but there are some good additions to this update. Of course, one of the big additions is the addition of maps. So that is what we'll be primarily focusing on today. We'll be doing stuff, you know, relating to maps, which is why I probably, I will be building a, kind of like a cartography building, I guess. So I'm thinking right next to the redstone workshop. You can't see from here. Okay, hold up. There's a bit of empty land right next to the redstone workshop that I've been wanting to fill for a while, and I think this is a good candidate for a building in this space, so that's what we'll be doing. You know what though? I might actually utilize spruce wood for this episode. Maybe even birch. Let me experiment around a little bit. But I'm thinking of doing a sandstone building for this. I think that would look nice. I'll maybe get some sand in there too for some texture, I guess. Yeah, we haven't actually used spruce yet. I might use spruce for this. And I do have more of it, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be the one I go for. Now, let's do our entrance right here, I'm thinking. But yeah, I might like... Hold on. Bear with me, bear with me. Might do like this. Is that gonna be... Yeah, that's like too close to the thing, so maybe we're gonna want to move back still. Go that. I'm thinking like this. I would go like a shape like this, I guess. Gonna need a little bit of terraforming here. Because I still want to maintain this distance from the pathway, just in case I get any plants and stuff. Like that. Okay, for that I should probably go to sleep, but oops, it's alright. Yeah, the previous episode was also the shortest one we've had so far. Because I cut it up so much. There wasn't really much to say. Once again, I do apologize if that episode was a bit boring. I didn't really have much to show in that one, I guess. I was just mainly planting and raising crops. Okay, yeah, I was thinking maybe we can do like an L shape, but I might just make it like a tower instead. I think that could look nice. Let's try this out. Alright, I tell you what, I've actually had a change of plans here. I'm gonna tear this down and move it elsewhere. And what I'm thinking, since this is like a cartography tower, I figured it would make sense to have it on top of a hill somewhere. So either up there or somewhere up here. But I'll go ahead and scout and figure out what I'm going to do this. But I'll be back with you all in a second. Let's go ahead and rebuild it elsewhere, see how it looks. Oh. Did I just... Hold on. Did I just duplicate my axe? What the fuck? I may have just duplicated my axe. How the hell did I just... Do I leave him there? I'll store him away somewhere, hold up. Go put him in here. Put him next to the fishes. Oh wait, is it real or not real? I can't tell. Yeah, I do not have storage for this. I've got a lot of shit in my inventory. Yeah, just... What the hell is going on? Yeah, my game is going cold up. Let me restart it. Okay. Okay. I got really scared there for a second. I thought I just broke the save. I think we're fine. Okay. Sorry for the black screen. My OBS was trying to catch up. I just launched the game. I don't know what just happened there. I reloaded the game and then my game just wouldn't load the world. So, are these real? I have no idea. Okay, so I've updated to beta 1.6.6. Yes, welcome to this update. I actually intended to come to here a bit later, but I did something that I was afraid might have bricked my save, so I updated just in case, and I think we're fine. And I might have just ended up duplicating a whole bunch of items, so that's nice, I guess. Let's just see here. Yeah, okay, I've just got a whole bunch of diamond axes. I have no idea. I think I, like, dropped the axe and picked it up as I was mining the block. I don't know what I did exactly. But whatever I did, these all seem to be real axe items. They haven't gone away. Reloaded the game twice. And I've even updated it, and they're still here. Actually, maybe, hold up. There's a tool store for a reason. Let me go put these there. Alright guys, welcome back from that little building montage. So I've gotten a good amount of the building finished. I'll just go ahead and run through everything. So first thing of course is we are now on top of this hill, as you can see. So we've gone ahead and I've made a pathway that goes all the way down. I actually made this out of cobblestone instead of gravel this time. And I just thought I'll do something a bit different. So it just goes down and connects to that road there pretty nicely. And we could just head on up. So if we head on inside, we have the first floor here, which is pretty basic so far. I've just got some bookshelves and chests. Heading up to the second floor, this is where the real magic happens. This is the area where we'll be making our maps and stuff. So I've gone ahead and provided with some paper and a compass. I've got to make more. I just made one for the purpose of this video, but this is where we'll be making maps. And the top floor is just a simple bedroom. So, you know, in case we need to stay here overnight, we can go ahead and do that. But we're not quite done yet. Let me add that there. We're not quite done yet, because there is a couple more things that I do want to quickly do. And one of them actually relates to one of the new additions here, which I haven't gone over yet, and that is the addition of trapdoors. Finally, we have these in the game. These are excellent for building. Unfortunately though, they're not as good as they are in modern, where you can just place them wherever, because in case you don't know, old trapdoors can only be placed against the block and could only be placed on the bottom half of the block. This later gets changed, I believe, in 1.2, 3, or 4. I can't remember exactly. It was one of those updates. But then you can, you know, place it on top half. But you still need a supporting block. So that is a huge trapdoor. You still do need a supporting block. So yeah, if I do break anything behind it, we can't really use it, unfortunately. So that does suck. But I do want to use these in some areas. So what I'm going to be doing is just kind of going in, for instance, we'll go in here and then like that. We're gonna place some trapdoors against this block. And then we could just make a little planter here, so plant a rose. Yeah, I would like to make this actually a grass block, so let me see if I can manage that real quick. We just opened that up in the meantime. But I do want to also, I'm thinking if I should maybe add some planters on the sides. So maybe like hanging off like that. But I'm not too sure, because I kind of like the shape of the tower. I don't really want to interfere with it, so I might leave it. But we'll go ahead and just add a couple more of these on the inside. I'll make a whole bunch more trapdoors, because unfortunately the recipe for these is quite expensive, honestly. And the fact that they're still like that in the modern day. But we can definitely add one more up here too. It's like a big one. Or maybe just in the corner, maybe? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. So what if we did that? Yeah, there you go. And then we can add some more flowers. There you go. Just a neat little planter now. So of course isn't like the best use case. We actually can, I'm thinking of it now. I could probably add some of these to the side of the building. So let me just make a whole bunch more. So while that spreads, maybe we can do this. Okay, not that. And of course, like everything added to these versions, they're just not coded right. So they don't break fast with the appropriate tool. You know what? I like that actually. Yeah, we're going to be doing this. So in these corner sections, we'll just add some trapdoors. I'm going to need more wood, dude. Holy shit, I've used all my wood. Can't believe it. Oh, also, I might as well mention this. So as I said before, we did update to beta 1.6.6 in the meantime because of that duplication glitch I had going on. And one of the worst changes that, not actually this version, it was beta 1.6.5 that did this. Remember how I was talking about with shift clicking while crafting? It makes, you know, all of the things like in modern. Instead, for some reason, they decided to make it so it's, you know, one at a time. So normally if I shift click this, I'll get 4 trapdoors because I'll craft everything that's there. it does it one at a time. Like anybody that's played beta 1.7 is very familiar with this. It's how it works in beta 1.7 as well. They eventually did revert it back to how it was initially in beta 1.8. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to endure that for a little bit. It does kind of suck, but just a way of life, I guess. Okay, that should be good. I don't think there's anywhere else I need to add this to. Yeah, it's all the sides. Alright, sweet. There we go. There's a little application of the trapdoor there. And you know what? I'm going to let this grass spread another time because it's clearly not working fast enough. But that actually looks quite nice. I like it. It's not too complex. Just a little bit of added flavor. I think it looks quite nice. So we'll also just add some flowers around the place. There we go. That is the complete cartography tower. It's not really much different from what I just showed. Actually, you know what? It's not quite complete just yet. You know what I'll add? Some paintings. Can never forget the paintings. But there we go. That is pretty much everything. I've added some paintings in. It looks all nice now. One more thing I actually forgot to mention was this balcony right here. I added this to the second floor just so we can get a nice look out over the town. I think it looks kind of cool, you know, being able to see everything. This is the highest building in the world so far, so we get a pretty good sight of everything. I will tell you guys though, the original idea was to make this third floor like an observation deck. Like I was going to do fences around it and it was going to be completely open. But because of the shape of the building, the fences weren't like touching any walls, so that looked weird. And from below, it just looked really strange as well. So I decided to just can that idea and did the bedroom instead, which I like a bit more if I'm being honest. And I think this balcony serves its purpose. It, you know, lets us see everything. Unfortunately, we can't quite see everything because it's not high enough, but it's good enough, I guess. Maybe I'll add another balcony, like somewhere up on the third floor eventually, but good enough. But let me go ahead and just get my inventory sorted real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and finally look into one of the other additions. Okay, so now that the inventory is nicely sorted, let's go ahead and finally get into these maps. So if I go ahead and grab myself a paper and a compass, and then we simply paper like that, and the compass in the middle. There we go. We get a map. So once we pick this up, bang, we get a nice rendering of the world around us. Now, you all know how maps work. I don't really need to explain this, but one quirk with maps in beta is the pointer is always like a little offset to the right. It's really annoying. So like I'm looking directly south right here. You can see I'm just kind of looking a bit southwest or southeast, sorry. That's a little bit annoying, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be heading north, directly north most likely. I might look around a little bit, try and render in the map a bit more, but I do want to find some new terrain because there is some new additions that we can have a look at too. It's very small stuff, but we'll see when we get there, I guess. And yeah, my whole thing with this world as well is I'm trying not to render too many of the chunks in certain areas for future updates. So for the later like beta 1.8 updates, I'm trying to leave the southern areas relatively untouched, so we'll head directly north and see what we can find. Never even noticed this. Oh, hold on. Guys, this might be a new thing right here. Check this out, the ocean's freezing over in this region. Yeah, so I know I said I was going to go north, but I figured before I do so, I'll just explore the region a little bit, fill out the map, because the map doesn't actually go beyond chunks I've already explored, so kinda defeats the purpose of what I was going to do, but it's okay. But since this is all forming in now, I believe this is actually part of one of the changes in one of the beta 1.6 releases. It might have been the initial release. And I think what that change is that in cold biomes, ice just forms without snow. So before, I think it needed to snow for ice to form, but now it just forms anyway. Okay, here we are. This is our starting point, and those of you who were around in the earlier episodes will definitely recognize this place. This is the redstone mines that I built back in episode 3, I believe. The update where we first actually went into alpha and saw the addition of redstone, of course. Now, I will be staying here for the night, and I do also just want to check and see what I actually have here. Whole bunch of bullshit. Nice. Okay. I was kind of hoping I might maybe have some iron and redstone so I can, make another compass. And then maybe we can make another map to actually map out the new regions, but that'll have to wait for now. Or better yet, I might actually pop down into these mines for a second and just see if I could find any. Give me a minute, guys. got some birch trees. I think we're heading into new territory. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are in beta 1.6 chunks, and the key indicator, tall grass. So this is actually the final edition. We'll go over in this update. This and a couple more things, but we have tall grass in the game now. Whee. Make this map. Damn. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Sure, I guess. I guess it doesn't let you make more than one? What? What is the deal with that? Alright, looks like we've got a desert over here, and with the desert comes another one of the 3 new foliage types. You can see it just right there. Well, just right there, actually. Dead bushes. We've got dead bushes in the game now. Isn't that amazing? There is one more that I'm looking for. I haven't ran into it yet, but I should hopefully come across it soon. I think I found it. I think I found it. Yep, get out of the way. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is a rainforest, I believe. And there is the last new addition. A fern. Can you believe I did all that searching for a fern? Me neither, I know. But here we are. This is a rainforest biome. Very beautiful biome. I really like this biome. It's easily my favorite out of all the beta biomes. Alright, but that is pretty much everything I wanted to find, so... we really went out searching for some shrubs. Isn't that amazing? Welcome to the evolution series, everybody. Alright, here we are. Back at the cartography tower after a little expedition to find some shrubs. So, I do apologize if that seemed a bit lackluster. I didn't intend to overhype it if that was the case. Sorry if I overhyped it, I guess is a better thing to say. But here we are. Finally got a decent amount of the surrounding area rendered in. If we take a look at the map here, we can just about make out some landmarks. So if we look at the top left there, you can see the redstone mines that we were just at. A little down southeast from there, you can see the skeleton farm that is literally just 1 pixel. Looking at around here, of course, that's the town, very obvious where I am. And a little down that way is where the zombie mines are. Now, a lot of them aren't really, I don't know what the word would be, I guess, comprehensible. You can't see them. Because the pixels are very, very thin. It's the problem with these maps is they're so far away you can't really make out a lot of the structures. But there you go. That is pretty much all I will be exploring. I don't really know what else I can really explore, if I'm being honest. But right before we end this video, I just want to go over one more change that beta 1.6.6 put in, and that involves bone meal. So now, of course, that we've explored the new shrubs and stuff, I figure this is a good time to show off this thing. I was going to show it off before, but thought I'd, you know, do the whole exploration thing first. But if we could take some bone meal and just right click on grass, as you can see, we can now spawn in some tall grass here. It looks really nice. So we could just go ahead and do this. And it spawns in flowers. So you all know how bone meal works. It now works how it does in modern. Very nice. And I will definitely be going around the town and doing this in some places because it's going to make it look a lot better once we have some neat little foliage around the place. Because right now it looks really bland. You know, we don't have anything on the grass besides, you know, save for like the odd flower and all the damn torches. But by doing this, it should hopefully make the world look a lot more lively and nice. So I'll save this for, like I said, something I'll do off camera. I won't leave this for a video because it will be boring as hell in a video. But yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up everything I want to go over in this episode. So if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to leave a like and comment any suggestions that you may have for future episodes. I do also have a Discord that you can join, link in the description. So if you want to leave any suggestions there or just talk about things there too, you can go ahead and do that. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.